WNBA basketball player Brittney Griner has been freed from Russia. She is currently on a plane back to the United States after a prisoner swap between the United States and Russia. CBS News congressional correspondent Scott MacFarlane is following this angle of the story for us from Washington. So, Scott, what are you hearing from lawmakers on the Hill about this prisoner swap?
A few different things, Vlad. First of all, universal and consistent statements of support for Brittney Griner from members of Congress immediately coming out this morning with their statements expressing gratitude that she's home. But then forms a partisan divide over the exchange orchestrated by the Biden administration. The president getting statements of support from his closest allies here in Congress. Delaware Senator Chris Coons, both Democratic senators from Arizona, Sinema and Kelly issuing statements immediately saying that this is a big day and a big moment for the Biden administration. But then there are Republicans issuing criticism, some of it relatively fierce. Rick Scott, the Republican senator from Florida, saying, quote, "I'm glad Brittney's coming home, but what about U.S. Marine vet Paul Whelan?" In Senator Scott's words, for Biden to give Putin a dangerous arms dealer, someone known as the Merchant of Death, is, according to the senator, weak and disgusting. So we'll see a partisan divide likely continue to grow as the day goes along, but unequivocal support from everyone for Brittney Griner and for her safe return.
Indeed. So let's talk about something else. Some other news that was breaking, I think, yesterday. So we're learning some information, or CBS News rather, is confirming that at least 2 more documents marked as classified have been found in a storage site belonging to former President Donald Trump in Florida. It's in West Palm Beach. So not on his property. What do we know about
definitely in the
this?
state that Rick Scott represents. I wonder if he has a statement on that.
Right?
Yeah.
We did ask Rick Scott about that yesterday. He deferred when his opportunity came to answer. So let's start there. About this latest revelation about 2 documents marked classified found at a storage area controlled by the Trump team in West Palm Beach, Florida. Add those documents to the list of other classified documents recovered in recent months, in addition to those seized by the FBI from Mar-a-Lago. This revelation comes at a time of unique legal peril for the former president, but it's also the first indication, Vlad and Anne-Marie, that those documents either existed or continue to sit in properties outside of Mar-a-Lago, raising questions about how far and wide those documents remain. But also, they come as a special counsel has been named to investigate the Mar-a-Lago documents case. The probe continues and expands, and now these records recovered at the order of the Trump legal team, which was searching to honor a court order, a subpoena, and a judge's order earlier this year.
Scott, have we heard from the former president or people close to the former president about these documents?
Yeah, the Trump team has said they're being transparent and they are cooperating with this review, with this investigation, that they are working in tandem or at least cooperatively with those who are investigating. You see the statement there on the screen. The former president, this is particularly a uniquely sensitive moment. The special counsel investigation appears to be widening or accelerating. There are other investigations underway, oh, by the way, in Georgia over efforts to overturn that state's 2020 election results. There is a grand jury sitting, we believe, today here in Washington investigating January 6th, potentially in concert with this new special counsel. There are all these threads to pull on. And now the revelation, 2 more documents marked classified have been uncovered by the Trump team at the storage area.
All right, some more business that's supposed to be happening on Capitol Hill today. What can you tell us about the Respect for Marriage vote? It was supposed to happen earlier in the week and it didn't. What's happening?
It is imminent, a vote on this Respect for Marriage Act here at the U.S. House. It had already passed the U.S. Senate. It is on a trajectory towards the president's desk in short order for his signature. First, let me restate what this bill, likely soon to be law, does. It reaffirms a federal protection for same-sex marriages. It doesn't prevent a state from outlawing it, but if there's a couple in that state who wants to cross state lines and get married where it's allowed, where it's legal, the federal government must recognize it and must honor it, really codifying federal same-sex marriage protections. It comes in the wake of the Dobbs abortion rights decision from the Supreme Court in June, in which one of the opinions raised questions about the future constitutionality of same-sex and interracial marriage. So that protection is likely to pass the U.S. House in short order today. There are other pieces of legislation that must pass in short order as well. We have only 25 days remaining in this Congress, and Vlad and Anne-Marie, they still haven't reached a deal to keep the lights on, to keep the government open. They must authorize the military to ensure pay raises for service members. That hasn't been done yet. A lot of action in a very short period of time.
Congress reminds me of myself in high school. Always waiting until the day before the essays due to buckle down and get down to business. Scott, thank you very much.